Hello and welcome to my channel. My name's Caroline and I'm a junior doctor working in the UK. I recently made a video about how I paid off over £20,000 worth of credit card debt, and I thought I'd make another video explaining how I managed to get into this debt in the first place. I'm hoping my story can help prevent anyone else from getting into unnecessary debt, as well as show those who are in debt that they're not alone. I once heard the biggest cause of debt is change in circumstances. I couldn't agree more. Now, I went to university twice with a 2-year break in between, and my finances could not have been any different each time. The first time I went to uni, I studied a degree called medical materials, and I was super scared of debt. I had a £200 student overdraft just in case, and I hardly ever used it. I worked full-time to cover my expenses, and I was still able to study, socialise, travel and graduate with a first-class degree. I graduated with no debt, and I saved up enough money for a 6-week backpacking trip in Southeast Asia. The second time I went to uni, I studied medicine, and this was a totally different experience. Medical school was completely different. After about a year and a half working in an office, I decided to get a credit card. My colleague was always travelling in his spare time, and I asked him how he could afford it. He referred me to his Amex credit card, where he collected Avios points and used these points for money off flight tickets. As a travel enthusiast, I was excited by this prospect. He warned me to always pay off the credit card in full at the end of the month, so I wouldn't have to pay any interest or get into any debt. I agreed to do just that. Whatever I spent on my credit card, I would pay back immediately, and I was never charged any interest. Due to these good habits, my credit card company consistently increased my credit limit. I started off with a credit limit of £700, and 3 years later, my credit limit was over £25,000. I loved using the credit card and watching my Avios points accumulating. I was dreaming of all the trips around the world I would take. Shortly after I got the credit card though, I was accepted into graduate entry medical school at university, and I was ecstatic. Because I'd already been to university, the rules for getting student loan were slightly different for me, and I had to pay the first £4,000 of my tuition fees by myself. And as I was having to quit my full-time job with a salary of over £35,000 to become a student again, the little savings I did have to put towards my tuition fees. I started uni without any savings or any money really. Having worked full-time whilst being a full-time student the first time I went to university, I thought it would be a piece of cake balancing studying and working this time too. I was completely wrong. I needed to put a lot more hours into study than I thought, especially since the graduate course meant the first 2 years of undergraduate medicine had been combined into 1 year. I realised quite early on that I couldn't maintain a part-time job as well as pass my medical degree. I ended up paying for all of my daily expenses with my credit card and not making enough money to pay it off immediately, which meant interest kept being applied to my balance. By the end of my first year of university, I had over £7,000 worth of credit card debt. I did not want a bad credit rating, and so I made sure I always paid off at least the minimum payment on my credit card every single month. But this meant any money I did receive from student loans and bursaries went straight to paying off my credit card bill. I had no money left to live on. This started the vicious cycle of me living off my credit card, and any money I actually had was going towards paying off just the bare minimum. I managed to get a part-time job for the last 3 years of uni, which really helped, but I still was left with over £20,000 in credit card debt at the end of my medical degree. When I left uni, I knew the nature of my degree meant I would be employed straight away, which is one of the best things about a career in medicine. I set myself the goal of paying off my debt within 2 years. To find out how I did this, check out my last video, linked in the description below. If you like this video, please press the like button and subscribe to my channel for more videos about personal finance and financial freedom. Thanks for watching.